right, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Bean Apple. It is me today. I am doing a Jets breakdown for Zach Wilson, his projections for 2022, and a little overview of what happened in 2021. So let's get to it. So Zach Wilson, I still believe is up and coming. A lot of criticism from the fans, from the media. A lot of noise. Bad team last year, as you guys know, right? Preaching to the choir if you're watching this. But, quick rundown, 2,334 yards last year. He averaged 180 yards a game over 13 games. So not the greatest numbers. But if you take into account that they had 25 drop passes, which led the NFL, 41 including contested catches. So that's a lot of missed opportunities there. So that 2,300 yards, you get a lot of those catches, and things change dramatically. So you just take his numbers as they were. 17 games over his compared to 13 games. If you extrapolate those numbers to 17 games, he would have had 3,051 yards. He would have broke 3,000 yards just at the numbers he had, at the pace that he had, which wasn't great, but it is what it is, right? So, and you can also average 2 extra touchdowns onto it. At least he was averaging 1 touchdown every 350-ish yards passing. So an extra 600 yards on there. Factor in 2 more at least touchdowns. So if you go through and you look at all the dropped passes, and then you also got to take into account those dropped passes, they're not all going to be caught, but they're going to create plays after those catches are made. So you're looking at a lot of missed opportunities afterwards. Those would have been first downs. They would have extended drives. There would have been more passing involved. So if you take that, you factor in a lot of those things, which you can't really put a number to what that would have equated to. But you could safely say an extra 500 yards is what he would have had if those with most of those passes being caught, and the however number of additional plays, because he averaged 11 yards per completion last year. So just take the 41. That's an extra almost 500 yards right there. Not to include the extra that was involved with it. So you can easily say over 17 games, he would have been pushing 3,500 yards pretty easily with a better team and a lot of catches that should have been made, right? So you look at that, and when you look at the numbers, it's a lot more encouraging than the overall media and fans and statistics would lead you to believe, right, on the surface. So you're looking at a 3,500 yard, at least 2 extra touchdowns. You throw in a couple more, probably 4 extra touchdowns, which still isn't great, but now you're in the you're in the teens for touchdowns instead of the single digits. So a little bit better. So moving forward, right? You guys know what the offseason was. One of the most hyped offseasons in Jets recent memory, if not longer, right? Great moves in the offseason, building the offensive line, adding great defensive weapons at every major need. Corner, linebackers, we got edge, we got sauce, which I love. So the defense is going to help with field position. It's going to help get the ball back to the offense, unlike last year, where I guess it did help get the offense the ball back because they just let people score. So we should get good field position, hopefully, and that's going to help the offense out a lot more as well. And then also adding Garrett Wilson, adding Breece Hall. You've got another year of Elijah Moore. Hopefully Corey Davis comes back healthy. He started the year off, on fire. You go back and watch that first game against Carolina. He was balling out. So beginning of the year, he was crushing it. But he also contributed to a lot of drops, right? So, but hopefully beginning of the year, Corey Davis comes back because he was on fire. You get, like I said, second year Elijah Moore. Now you add Garrett Wilson to that. Braxton Berrios is back. 2 beast wide receivers, Michael Carter and Breece Hall in the backfield, and CJ Uzama and Tyler Conklin at the tight end room, adding them into it. I mean, there's weapons everywhere. So with that, I think the offense is going to explode this year. So for me, 2022, Zach Wilson. I'm not crazy here. I'm not crazy. I think the stats proved it. The players proved it. This is my prediction. yards per game, 240. That puts him up there in the Lamar Jackson, close to Josh Allen range, in that area. I think that's doable with this offense. I'm going to give him 4,080 yards on the season at that pace, and he does play a whole season. So 4,000 yards, finally, since Joe Namath. This is going to be the first time since Joe Namath the Jets have had a 4,000-yard quarterback. So I'm pretty psyched about that. Touchdowns, total. This is total touchdowns. 31 is what I'm going to say. 31 total touchdowns between air and ground, right? So he does have the ability to run. I expect him to sneak a couple in at the end zone, maybe scramble for a couple as well. So he's going to utilize that frame. And if you guys have seen it, he's added some weight. He's added some size. He could absorb some more hits. He's going to plow through and grab a couple touchdowns himself. And I think he's going to stay around the same. I think I like 11 interceptions. He's not perfect. He does like to go downfield. He does like to chance things with that arm, and you want to encourage that. You don't want to discourage that. So I still think he's going to make a couple mistakes. He's going to make some throws that he shouldn't have made. But if it's a 31-11 ratio, I think we're going to take that. So that's my prediction. I think the stats back it up. It's really only 500 more yards with the offensive weapons that we've added over a 17-game period. That's not really asking a lot, and I think the weapons are a lot better. The health, obviously, we did not have last year, so it's very hard to get touchdowns when you're throwing to Keelan Cole and Tyreek Black and whoever else. It was bad, right? It was just a hodgepodge of wide receivers that we were working with. So he's got some talent, and he's going to exploit it. So that's my prediction. I'd like to hear what you guys think. If you enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button. Please like it, comment, tell me what your thoughts are, what your predictions are for Zach Wilson this year. And until then, I will see you guys real soon. Peace.